Okay, welcome. Great to see you all. Welcome to the second half, lectures 7 and 8. So if you haven't registered yet, please register your attendance. This is the QR code. And let us get started. So this is the second half, lectures 7 and 8. Welcome. Great to see you all. So before we start, I want you to look at these takeaways from last lecture. In the next 1 minute, please think about how you could apply these. These are takeaways from the last lecture. Please choose 2 of them and take a note in your notebook on how to apply these. Choose 2 of them and make a note. So how can you apply these? Please choose 2 of them and make a quick note in the next 30 seconds. Okay, the next one, please again, go over these, choose 2 of them, and make a quick note in your notebook on how to implement them in your life. Think of some small actions. Please write down your actions, 20 seconds. Okay, let's continue with the next one. In the next 1 minute, please go over these takeaways. Choose 2 of them and think about how you would implement them in your life. And write 2 actions in your notebook. Just 20 seconds. Okay, so let's start today's lecture. I called it the boring lecture. So this will be the boring lecture. Hopefully it won't be that boring. These are the contents. We will have a lot of exercises. So why did I call this lecture the boring lecture? I think we are all a bit bored at this point. Boredom strikes us when we let our habits, routines control us. And we had an incredibly hard year this year because of the pandemic and the lockdowns and the anxiety surrounding us. So we are feeling boredom more than ever. Everything is kind of boring. Lectures are inherently boring. Slides are often recipes for mediocrity. And it takes courage, experimentation to get out of boredom. So in this lecture, I'll try to escape boring by embracing uncertainty and a sense of exploration. So to escape boredom in your lectures, you can also take some actions. Be active, such as taking notes, doodling, reflecting, making materials relevant for yourself. How can I use this? How can I apply it, make it relevant to myself, etc. And identify some action points. And remember, improvising, surprising yourself, incorporating some adventure, some play will also help in remedying boredom. So let us start our tour. To escape boredom, invest in your hobbies. Elon Musk started a new company as a hobby, as you know, for building tunnels and solving the wicked problem of traffic. He says Los Angeles traffic is terrible, so as my hobby, I will establish a company. And this hobby company is worth $16 billion. So what's the name of this company? I think you know it. The Boring Company. This is real. I mean, it's not a joke. It comes from, to bore, because it builds tunnels. So how does it work? Here is Elon Musk's new tunnel concept.
So we'll be going over Elon Musk's new company, The Boring Company, which revealed their ambitious tunneling project. The Boring Company is setting out to build a 3D network of tunnels to alleviate transportation congestion. Elon Musk struggles with traffic in Los Angeles and wants to change the way people travel by removing the stress of waiting in traffic. Street-level elevators will move cars down to a tunnel, at which point the car skate that the car was lowered down on will navigate through the tunnel. No driving required. As soon as this project takes off, it'll be good to be an elevator technician. The car skate that your car will be traveling on in the tunnel can reach top speeds of 200 kilometers per hour or 124 miles per hour. Elon Musk has started the Boring Company as a hobby, more or less, and has purchased some used boring equipment. The Boring Company takes 2 to 3% of his time and is worked on by some interns and part-time by some Tesla staff. The Boring Company has a pet snail named Gary after the snail from SpongeBob SquarePants. Gary travels 14 times faster than current boring machines. The company's goal is to beat Gary or increase tunneling speed by over 14 times.
So Elon Musk also wants to transform public transport. His project is called Hyperloop.
Elon Musk, the billionaire behind Tesla Motors and SpaceX, wants to revolutionize public transport. In 2017, he held an event at SpaceX's California headquarters, showcasing the latest technology for what he believes is the future of intercity travel, an entirely new transport system called Hyperloop.
What this is really all about is advancing the state of transportation, trying new things that have never been done before that can make an incredible difference to people's lives.
But is Hyperloop ready to usher in a new age of mass transit? Or is it just a billionaire's pipe dream?
So I'll stop here. You can watch it. It is in your slides. But Boring Company is not boring at all. So the next tip for you to escape boredom, do what you love and do it with passion. He loved playing games. This is your puzzle. He turned it into a passion. He's a legend on Fortnite, and he now makes $500,000 a month by playing games. His wife is his manager. He is the world's most famous gamer. His net worth is more than 20 million. He was chosen to Time 100. Who is he? Of course, you know, I think he is Ninja. So this is CNN Business.
Every time you're away from that console, are you making a calculation about how much money you're not making? How much money are you losing sitting here with me right now?
I mean, it's not like an absorbent amount, but it's enough to be like, dude, what are you doing?
Tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, definitely. That's a perfect assessment. That's what I'm talking about!
Do you know how many hours you've streamed this year?
Fortnite alone is like 3,400 or 3,800 of Fortnite.
That's this year.
It's 142 days of streaming.
142 days of streaming.
Of gaming and streaming, yeah.
You mentioned this happening the last year. There was, you played video games with Ellen. You danced last night with Fallon. You had this ESPN, the magazine cover,
Yes.
which for a lot of people was the wake-up call.
Right.
One of the things that blew people's mind in this article was the quote that you make $500,000 a month. I don't believe it because I believe you make a lot more than that.
On a good month.
And it was when you were making 80 or 90 a year that you decided, I can get out of college and I can quit Noodles and Company, right?
That was the deciding factor. Was my mom, by no means was she going to let me quit my job or drop out of school. And I say that like drop out of school. I don't even like that because I always had every intention of going back. I actually did go back when I had like an eye issue thing. My stream took a dive. But yeah, after it was like 80,000 a year. I was like, Mom, I'm doing this until, if I make less, I'll go back.
Could you be the first $10 million a year gamer?
Definitely.
But you must meet people who have no idea that people make money.
It's rare. If I had, $1 for every time I was at an airport. So what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm going to a tournament. Oh, what kind of a tournament? I'm like, it's a video game tournament. A video game tournament? You make money playing video games? And it's just, I'm
play this out, and then you have to tell them there's money.
Yeah, and then it's like, it's simple. The gaming tournament explanation. It's just like, a bunch of people buy a team pass, that money goes into the prize pool, winner take all, usually kind of a thing. And they're like, well, that's cool. But the streaming is the hardest part. Well, how do you make money streaming? It's like ad revenue. It's just how, there's going to be ads in commercial breaks. Those ad companies pay, the network. It's the same thing with streaming. However many people see the ads, you get money there. People can subscribe.
Primarily, you make most of your money from Twitch?
I would say about
YouTube?
Twitch and YouTube. Yeah, because it's constant, it's consistent, it's monthly.
Would you say 40% comes from Twitch? 40% comes from YouTube?
It's like 60% is from both.
From both?
Maybe like 70. And then like brand deals.
Which leaves 30, and that's Red Bull and other sponsors.
It's really simple, man. That it's like, hey, do you subscribe to a magazine or Spotify, anything like that? It's like it's the same thing. You just want to give someone. So my favorite reference is a guy on the street who's just playing the violin. He literally is not expected to get no money. No one's saying, hey, go
a couple bucks. And
yeah, exactly. Well, if you enjoy it a lot, sometimes people throw like 20s and 5s. It's the same thing.
Okay. So you can learn more about Ninja's story in the next videos. The next strategy to escape boredom: read and learn exciting things, fresh things that will open up your mind. So here's what we did. Throughout 1 month, my wife Sertaç encouraged me to take up a challenge, and she said, why don't we read 30 books in 30 days? So we started a book challenge, 30 days, 30 books challenge. And we did it. We announced it on Instagram, and many of our friends also joined this challenge. And you can use fast reading, skimming, to quickly read and finish books. So is it possible? Yes, it is possible. If you put your mind to it, you can do it. And successful leaders, they view learning as natural as breathing. It is lifelong pursuit. Warren Buffett says, read 500 pages like this every week. That's how knowledge builds up. It builds up like compound interest. So here's my radical suggestion for you. Read 100 books every year. That is how you build up your knowledge as well as your capital, because capital also comes from knowledge. So reading should be treated like a job, not a hobby. What area are you seeking to be successful in? You just will read 250 books in that area to build rock-solid knowledge base. And then you should read 250 books in unrelated areas so that you can form mental models to solve difficult multidisciplinary problems. So reading should be as natural as breathing, eating for you. So you don't do it, because you love it. You do it because you automatically do it. It's an indispensable part of your life, your daily routine. That's it. And when you read a lot, the connection of ideas is known as the adjacent possible. And the strange and beautiful thing about this adjacent possible is that its boundaries grow as you explore those boundaries. So each new combination leads to new combinations. Think of a house that magically expands with each door that you open. Keep opening new doors and eventually you will build a palace. So reading tons of books expands your mind. And your knowledge base will grow until you explode with creativity. And then you will be able to make a lot of insightful connections. So the speed of your success depends on the pace of your learning. So now, please create your own learning challenge. For example, you might say, in the next year, 2021, let's say I will read 2 books every week. Let's say I will read 100 books during 2021. So I want you to create your own challenge now on a piece of paper or in your notebook. Please specify how many books you will read. Let's think of the next year, 2021. Starting January, in 2021, how many books will you be reading? Please write down that number and give a commitment. Write your commitment down. I will read this many number of books in 2021, and then please write down your name and then sign it. This should be somewhere that you can see. Like, make a contract, make a commitment to yourself, sign it, and then put it on your wall, and then follow up on it. So, for example, if you say 100 books, that means every week you need to finish 2 books. And that's not a lot, really. You can easily do that. So what will be your own challenge? Please specify it and write it down and sign it. So you have 30 seconds to do this. Write down your commitment, contract, sign it, please. My suggestion is make it 100, at least 100 for 2021. And another project, you can write 1 minute, very short reviews of these projects on Medium, let's say. So this way, you will have written 100 book reviews by the end of the year, and you will establish your own blog at Medium, and you will make money from this process as well. Because whenever people will do research about this book, they will read your review. So it's a win-win. You will increase your knowledge. You will publish your own blogs on Medium. These can be very short blogs, but still, like, you will create a lot of assets as well by increasing your knowledge. Okay, so please commit to this. Commit to whatever you will be doing, okay, in the book challenge. Let's continue our tour. To escape boredom, search for outliers or extreme examples. So here's a puzzle for you. Is it possible to write 100,000 words in just 1 day? It's an extreme, yes. Shanvaz attempted this, so and he broadcasted this. You can find it online. He ended up writing 55,614 words in 1 day, and you can read about his writing challenge. So he finished writing his book in just 1 day. It was a record. But he did this through talking and using voice capture technology. And he wrote a blog about it. I tried to write 100,000 words in a day and failed spectacularly, which is an amazing read. So, but like, he attempted 100,000, but he surpassed 55,000, and he finished his book as well. So that is great, you know. Like you can do enormous things if you set your mind to it. Is it possible to try out 52 jobs in 52 weeks to explore and learn about career tracks? Again, yes, it is possible, of course. Who did it? This guy. It is a documentary, 1 week job. He got 52 jobs in 52 weeks.
Approach to one man is taking an unusual approach to uncovering his passion.
We're told so much growing up. Find your passion, and that is the secret. Find something that you're passionate about. Follow your passion. Your passion.
Passion.
You can't go with your passion. But how do you go about finding your passion? Get active and be proactive about doing something. You don't know what to do? Well, don't just sit around and wonder what to do. Do something. Here's my idea. I worked 52 jobs in 52 weeks to find my passion.
It's the greatest concept on the face of the planet.
It's a crazy idea.
It was an idea that was just not possible.
I have no idea what awaits me and where this project's going to take me, but I got to take the leap. Ready, here we go.
Right now, I think a lot of people are trying to get to school with no clue whether the degree they just took really applies to their interests and really what can they do with it.
Just become a Hollywood producer, snowshoe guide assistant, real estate agent, fashion buyer. Time to start a new day, Monday morning.
It's the people that make the experience special. I'm 59 years old and I'm still trying to experience life. There's all these things that I want to do.
You know, a lot of people say to me, oh my God, well, I don't know what I want. And if I just knew what I want, God, that would be everything. Then here's what you do. Find out what you don't want.
So it's a great movie. I recommend you watch it as well. But what an amazing experiment, you know, trying out all these diverse jobs and exploring yourself in the process. To escape boredom, expand your sense of what is possible. Bihar, India, Dashrath Manji, known as the Mountain Man, single-handedly carved a road through a mountain. Why did he do that? After his wife died due to lack of medical treatment, because the nearest town was 70 kilometers away, he carved this enormous road through the mountains. So how long did it take to do this? Any guesses? 22 years. He did this in 22 years. You can read more about him, but he's a legend, you know. Like if you set your mind to something, you will do it. It's an enormous commitment, unbelievable. How long do you think it is possible to live on London's buses at night? Let's say you don't have a home and you try to survive by living on London's buses. How long do you think you will survive or you will manage? 1 night? 2 nights? 1 week maybe? How long? So this man did 21 years of sleeping on London buses. You can read more about him on the BBC News. Why did he do that? His asylum application was rejected. He couldn't go home because his life was in danger. So that was his only option. And then finally, he got citizenship. You remember the movie Terminal? This movie is based on the life of a real person. Who is this person? Do you know the real name of this person? You know Tom Hanks' movie? He was trapped in this airport and he lived there like for years. And this is a real person. This really happened. Who is this guy? So he is Mehran Karimi Nasseri, or Sir Alfred Mehran. He lived in in the French airport, Paris airport, for 18 years. So you can learn more about him as well. Is it possible, the next puzzle, to plant an entire forest by yourself? Of course, it is possible, yes. Yadao Payang dedicated his life to planting a forest, and he created a huge forest by himself. So, here's my manifesto. You can have a look. In the next 2 minutes, I want you to create your own manifesto. Like, what do you want to do in your life? What are your values, priorities, or how will you make a difference? How will you make sure that your life is colorful, exciting, meaningful, impactful? Please write down whatever comes to you on your notebook, a new page, create a new page for this, and create your own manifesto. Write it down, please. Last 1 minute, please write down your manifesto. Whatever comes to you. You can revisit it later, of course. "20 seconds to finish this. Of course, you can revisit this. Okay, the next one. To escape boredom, hunt and find interesting ideas. So here's a link. 10 unexpected places to find interesting ideas. Have a look. It's a great article. But the internet is great for this. So what's the significance of this picture? Do you know this picture? And what was the significance of this picture? If you follow the news, this was a photo called Station Squabble, and it depicts two mice fighting in the London tube station. So Sam Rowley took it, and he won Wildlife Photographer of the Year award by this photo. So can you win a Wildlife Photographer award at the heart of London? Yes, you can do. It all depends on your perspective. The next puzzle. She was a street performer busking in Australia. She made a song that changed her life, and that song started as a sensation of 2020, and it reached #1 in 30 countries, and it topped 1 billion plays on Spotify. Who is this artist? Who is this song? I think you know her. And you know this song as well, Dance Monkey, Tones and I. So let's remember this success story. How did it take over the world?
Dance monkey, dance monkey, dance monkey,
For anyone that thinks that I'm like an overnight success, just doesn't know about like the hard yards I've already put in. I used to work at a surf shop on Burke Street, which is the really busiest part of Melbourne, and there was like you could busk on Burke Street. I really, really wanted to busk. I couldn't even play an instrument at this point. One of my friends was like, you should come to Byron because you can literally just park up and busk out of the side of your van. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. So I bought a van, moved to Byron Bay, and started living in my van.
What was your impression of Byron Bay when you first got there?
Okay, I'll stop here, but like you can watch the video to learn more about the story of Dance Monkey and how she became so successful. The next one, to escape boredom, create your own creative assets. So imagine that you are creating your own YouTube channel. Here's your exercise. What would you like to create in your YouTube channel? Imagine that you will establish it, and you can establish this in just 5 minutes, right? Like it's very easy to do. You can literally do it right now if you want to do it, right? So let's say you created it tonight, okay? You opened your own YouTube channel and kickstarted it just tonight, immediately. What would you like to create? I want you to do some brainstorming. Get your notebook and get your pencil and write down ideas. Which topics or formats do you wish to experiment with? Would you like to do interviews with people, travel, lifestyle tips, health, food, fashion, business, technology, humor? What kind of themes would you like to do? What are you really passionate about? What are you really excited about? Make a list. Can you develop new formats? Please write down your ideas in the next 1 minute. And remember, this will be your TV channel, you know, like you can broadcast to the world using your YouTube channel. And don't think of like sophisticated plans. This is like very simple. You can start with 1 minute videos. Just summarize your day or share your new ideas, excitements. That's it. You know, like you don't have to start with a perfect plan. You don't need to be a professional. You can start and learn on the way. It's all really simple, really. So please capture your ideas. Please finish up in 20 seconds. You can come back to this after the class is over. Okay, to escape boredom, create your own art. Let's look at the world of art. This is Portrait of an Artist, Pool with Two Figures. This painting was sold at Christie's for $19.3 million. Who is the artist of this painting? David Hockney. Okay. He's the richest British living artist. He is known for his controversial artwork. Death is a central theme in his works. You can see his work here, For the Love of God. This is a platinum cast of an 18th century human skull encrusted with 8,601 diamonds. And you can see another artwork, The Physical Impossibility of Death in the Mind of Someone Living, which has a shark in display. Of course, his artwork is very controversial. Who is he? He is, of course, Damien Hirst. Okay, to escape boredom, be playful and cheeky. Here's another artist. How much do you think this artwork has been sold for? This is called Rabbit. It is stainless steel sculpture. It's a very big sculpture. And it is really heavy. So how much do you think people paid for this? Any guesses? 91.1 million. So this was the most expensive work sold by a living artist at auction. And who is the artist? Jeff Koons, of course. He's an American artist. To escape boredom, dare to disappoint others. This is an artwork. It is called My Bed. So she was depressed and she remained in bed for 4 days. She didn't eat. She didn't drink anything except alcohol. And when she looked at her bed after 4 days, she looked at this repulsive mess and she suddenly realized what she had created. And what's more interesting is, like, she made it into an artwork. So this was an artwork and showcased in one of the prominent London galleries. And critics treated it as a farce. And they said, anyone could exhibit an unmade bed. You know, I can make a bigger mess. What's the point of this? Is this art, really? Are you kidding? And she said, as a response, anyone who could do it, you know, what do you think? Well, they didn't do it, did they? No one had ever done that before as artwork, and I did it, she said. So who is she? So this piece, by the way, when auctioned at Christie's, the piece was sold for a little over $2.5 million. So who is this artist? I think you know, probably. Tracy Emin is the artist. To escape boredom, use humor, satire. So we looked at these interesting artworks, right? Many of these conceptual postmodern art pieces were awarded Turner Prize by Tate Modern. And as a result, a Spoof UK award has been initialized. The goal was to satirize Tate Gallery's Turner Prize. This prize rewards deliberately bad art. It started as a joke, but it gained a lot of media attention. So what is it called? The name is here, Turner Prize. So it is called, instead of Turner Prize, it is called Turner Prize. So in this competition, entries with too much effort are disqualified immediately. If it is not shit enough, it is disqualified. So who are the winners? Winners are things like a block of wood or an empty corned beef can. And they say, as the artist's description, the work took no time at all to create. So if you want to check out these winners of this Turner Prize, have a look. On Wikipedia, they have a hilarious page, and You'll learn so much about, you know, the world of arts, just looking at, you know, the absurdity. So there is only one step from the sublime to the ridiculous. So here's your next exercise then. Create your own entry for turnip price. Okay, so imagine that you submit your own entry for turnip price, let's say this year or next year. What would you like to submit? And remember, you cannot submit high quality artwork, and the award is quite substantial, 40,000. But your artwork has to be rubbish, ridiculous. Okay, what could be the thing that you do? Like, you can submit something like the coronavirus mask, representing the vanity, fragility of the human condition, something like that, like something ridiculous. So think about your own idea in the next 20 seconds. Okay, the next one. To escape boredom, be a little controversial and outrageous, such as, you know, this performance artist, Marina Abramovic. So there is a documentary called Blurred Lines. I recommend you watch it. This is the trailer of that documentary.
From acclaimed filmmaker Barry Average and producer Jonah Prince comes a new documentary that takes you inside the world of contemporary art and seen through the eyes of those who live within.
Everything I've got to say is in my paintings. The rest of this is just chit-chat.
The cast of talented insiders travel around the globe and experience real-life drama.
I don't believe people were just born with some form of talent.
From international art fairs to gallery openings.
The headline is, you know, how many zeros are attached to a particular work of art.
From artist studios to auction houses, their stories intersect with the most provocative personalities in the art scene today.
It's a really important moment of an artist to know when to stop and how to die.
Revealing the glamorous, scandalous, often outrageous, always absurd truth. Money should have nothing to do with it. But today, unless you've got a lot of money, you can't buy art. How does talent find an audience? How does power decide access? And what's the real price of genius?
Guy, you're better at $78 million. And selling.
It's all part of the gloss that goes with paintings, covering up something that is much less attractive.
Why aren't we talking about the art?
Blurred Lines, a new documentary film.
So it's a great documentary. If you are interested in the celebrity and the money aspect of this crazy art world, and it's on Netflix. To escape boredom, write. So here is your next challenge. I want you to complete this story. Let me start the story for you. We will do some creative writing. Get your notebook, get your pen, pencil, complete the story below. And the trick here is keep writing without too much thinking. Although she was settled in her life, she felt more restless than ever. She was yearning for change. She felt there was something in the air, something different on that day. She woke up very early and left the house. ... So you will continue this story without too much thinking. Okay, keep writing. Let's do this for 2 minutes. Try to complete the story. Don't judge your ideas. Just keep writing. Do not stop. Think too hard. Trust your hands. Imagine that your hands have their own imagination. Keep writing, please. Last 1 minute, please finish in 1 minute. Okay, wrap up your story, please. You can always come back, of course. Okay, so this is my blog. When I entered my 41st age, I have written an article. It is called 41 Creativity Lessons I Have Learned as I have entered my 41st age. So like this was my last year's birthday article, actually. I decided that I would transform my life and be more creative in my life. I decided that, you know, I needed more color, more excitement, more arts, more creativity in my life. And what did I learn? How do I act? How can you be more creative? So I put together 41 different lessons on this. Please make sure you read this so that you can apply some of these lessons. Okay, the next part, I will leave this to you because we have a lot to cover today. Powers of the mind. This section is called Powers of the Mind. So to escape your boredom, use your imagination. Napoleon Hill says there are no limitations to your mind except those that you acknowledge. So both poverty and riches are the offspring of your thought. So if you think about poverty all the time, and then you will be trapped in that, you know, idea of limitations. Yeah, like, so don't limit yourself. Expand your imagination. That's the trick. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So it all starts with transforming your mind, your thought system. and expanding it. So here's a great puzzle about this. Map makers added a fake place to a New York map in 1930s. Why did they add this fake place? The goal was to entrap competitor map makers, copying them onto their map. Why? So that they can sue them for copyright. So Rand McNally was sued for putting this fake place into his map because of copyright infringement. And McNally said, but this place does exist. So what happened there? Indeed, that place really exists now. How can it be? You know, it emerged as a fake place, a fictional place. But then humans looked at it. It was on the map. So somebody thought, oh, there should be this place. So why don't we build it? So humans made it real because it was on the map. So the lesson here is imagination is powerful and it can turn into real. What's the name of this place? If you know the story, the name of the place is called Aglo. So they just added this as a fake town, fake place, but it then became real. It's an amazing story.
Map of New York State that was made in 1937 by the General Drafting Company. It's an extremely famous map among cartography nerds because down here at the bottom of the Catskill Mountains there is a little town called Roscoe. That's actually, this will go easier if I just put it up here. There's Roscoe, and then right above Roscoe is Rockland, New York, and then right above that is the tiny town of Aglo, New York. Aglo, New York is very famous to cartographers because it's a paper town. It's also known as a copyright trap. Map makers, because my map of New York and your map of New York are going to look very similar on account of the shape of New York, often map makers will insert fake places onto their maps in order to protect their copyright. Because then, if my fake place shows up on your map, I can be well and truly sure that you have robbed me. Aglo is a scrabblization of the initials of the two guys who made this map, Ernest G. Alpers and Otto Lindbergh, and they released this map in 1937. Decades later, Rand McNally releases a map with Aglo, New York on it at the same exact intersection of two dirt roads in the middle of nowhere. Well, you can imagine the delight over at General Drafting. They immediately call Rand McNally and they say, "We've caught you. We made Aglo, New York up. It is a fake place. It's a paper town. We're going to sue your pants off." And Rand McNally says, no. Aglo is real. Because people kept going to that intersection of two dirt roads in the middle of nowhere, expecting there to be a place called Aglo, someone built a place called Aglo, New York. Had a gas station, a general store, two houses at its peak.
So I'll stop here. You can watch the TED Talk of John Green. A great TED Talk. To escape boredom, use the immense powers of your brain. So the biggest example of this is Einstein, of course. Which technologies or inventions do we owe to Einstein and his theories, his thoughts? And let me give you a hint. There are many. Can you think of some of them? You know, sometimes like some people say, oh, theory is not important. Oh, real life is very different from theory. Forget about the theory. No, you cannot forget about the theory. It's the foundation. So these are the technologies that we owe to Einstein and his theories. TV, radar guns, nuclear power, solar panels, GPS systems, satellites, stock markets, weather forecast systems, automatic doors, burglar alarm systems, digital cameras, DVD players, scanners, laser eye surgery, and more. You know, like, isn't this amazing? You know, like we all these technologies, you know, to that very foundation. So you can read more about these. To escape boredom, follow your desires. The starting point of all achievement is desire. Keep this constantly in your mind. Weak desire brings weak results. Just as a small fire makes a small amount of heat. So you need to have strong desires to put up really good achievement in your life. To escape boredom, you need to tap into the power of your unconscious mind. And there's a video on that. I will not go into this. You can watch this. But there's a quote here as well. What you believe has more power than what you dream or wish or hope for. You become what you believe. To escape boredom, move and take a positive action. So this is a poster. You know, we all have these negative thoughts in our minds, especially, you know, this year because of the pandemic, uncertainty, lockdowns. There's a bully in our heads. You know, it says all these negative things. You are not good enough. You suck. The world is shit. We are all doomed. This is meaningless. This is all ridiculous. Everything is messed up. So you need to stop all these voices in your head and get up and move. You can walk, cycle, cook, see friends, help somebody, share, write in your diary, reflect, find some gratitude, work on your problems, seek help, read, create something, follow your dreams, take an action, even if it is a small action. Breathe. Breathe deeply. Breathing very deeply for relaxation is very important. Let's do it right now. I want you to give really deep breaths. Give and receive really deep breaths now in the next 30 seconds. Very deep. Let's do an exercise. I want you to tense your hands, make them tense, and now release. Release your hands. Tense your feet, make them tense, and then release. And at the same time, deep breaths. And then your shoulders, please try to massage them. Give them a good massage. Make them tense first, and then release. Stomach, again, make it tense. Tense, tense, tense. Relief. So if you do this for all your body parts, make it tense and then release. Make it tense for like 15 seconds, 20 seconds, and then release. And do some quick exercises. You know, let's increase our metabolism. I want you to get up and jump. Let's jump and do some things just to increase our metabolism. In the next 30 seconds, just jump. So open some K-pop music, do some K-pop dance, you know, whatever like goes, do it. Whatever you want to do, like increase your metabolism. That's very important. Let's say you are taking a shower. When you take a shower, start with hot water, yes, but towards the end, continue with cold water. And you will be like much more active, and you will increase your metabolism as well. You know, at first you don't want it, yeah, but like if you try it, you will see that like your life will be transformed in just these small ways. You know, like do a little push-up, that's it. I will do just one push-up, that's it. Or 5 push-ups, that's it. You know, I will write just 1 page, that's it, every day. I will shoot a 1-minute video every day, that's it. You know, like set yourself incredibly small goals, and that will help you tremendously. So Mel Robbins says, if you have something on your mind, you want to achieve something, you have a really good idea, you have an instinct to act on a goal, you must count to 5 and physically move towards that goal in just 5 seconds. You have just 5 seconds to make it. You know, you think that, for example, I need to like do some exercise. Immediately do it at that moment, you know, at that second. You have 5 seconds to do it immediately, or your brain will stop you. This is the same for everything. You know, I want to create art. Like, you have 5 seconds. Create something right now, immediately. What you have in this life is only now, the power of now. You only have like 5 seconds. Now, that's it. Nothing else. So worry about right now what you want to do and do it immediately and move in 5 seconds. That's it. If you have a really good idea, write it down. Do something, even a small action, in just 5 seconds or less, immediately. Okay? So that's the golden rule. And this will transform your life. You can watch videos of Mel Robbins explaining it. To escape boredom, dream and use daydreaming. So here's an exercise for this. This was at New York Creativity Workshop that I attended. They gave us this amazing exercise. They said, you know, how would it feel like if you saw with 100 eyes? Imagine that possibility. Let's say, imagine that you have, instead of 2 eyes, you have 100 eyes. How would it feel like? Write it down. So open up your notebook, a clean page, please. And in the next 1 minute or so, please think about how would it feel like. You can write, doodle, or draw. How would it feel like if you saw with 100 eyes? Start, please. Just complete your thoughts. You can do like a mind map or make a list of things, ideas. Or you can draw. Try to wrap it up, please. "30 seconds to finish your artwork." Of course, you can go back to it and do more, like if this is intriguing for you. Create a poster, let's say. So here's my poster. This is what I did in the workshop. So I thought about seeing with 100 eyes, and I turned it into a concept map. As you see, these are the dimensions that I have taught. seeing technologically, seeing different wavelengths, lights and colors, seeing with the mind, with the heart and the soul, seeing the past and the future at the same time, seeing the details and the big picture at the same time, multiplicity of 360-degree perspectives, holistic ways of seeing across borders, walls, etc. So how can you do that? And as you can see, I have drawn 100 eyes. You can see the eyes scattered through the poster. You can read 100 books. Then you will see what 100 eyes. You can watch 100 mind-expanding movies. Go to IMDb 2020 top movies. Go to that list. If you haven't watched them, select 100 of them. Watch them. Or delve into 100 pieces of artwork. These actions will help you to see with 100 eyes. Okay, to escape boredom, watch mind-expanding movies, we said, right? And we have already covered this. Which movie is the most ambitious one ever done on dreams and the subconscious? Of course, it is Inception. Remember, we have looked at this. So to escape boredom, keep a diary for your sleep and for your dreams. Sometimes I really have really good dreams. For example, I was creating a London musical in my dream, and it was a musical about the future of humans and robots, machines working together. So humans and robots were jamming, jazzing, improvising on the spot together. And I even have seen some lyrics and music in my dream. Unfortunately, I forgot about all of it. Because why? I didn't keep a sleep diary, dream diary. So try to keep a dream diary if you can. And capture your dreams whenever you can. Carry it with you near your bed, and then whenever you are awake, try to remember them immediately and take notes. This is very important, I think, for creativity. Because in your dreams, you continue learning, you continue creating ideas, you continue building new worlds of imagination. So if you can capture that wisdom, that creativity, that subconscious power in your life, you will be a much more creative person. So how can you do that? Here's a poster on this. The power of dreams and sleep. Why is this so critical? Because when we sleep, we travel to these colorful realms of unlimited possibilities. We are flying like a bird. We keep learning. We incubate new ideas. We unleash our subconscious mind. So dreams are opportunities for imagination. They are magical journeys. You can learn and you can be inspired by your dreams. So how can you better make use of your dreams? Think about that. How can you better capture them, remember them? Can you keep a dream diary, sleep diary? Can you create new ideas and new thoughts? And can you be open, more open to luck, wonder, serendipity, happy accidents, fresh possibilities? Think about these. I also included an article here on this from the New Scientist. This is a great book. I have read this book recently. It is called Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker, Unlocking the Power of Dreams and Sleep. So this is an amazing book. It was a bestseller. And if you haven't read it, please make sure you read it. It is one of the best books ever written scientifically that explains why sleep is so crucial. So Matthew Walker provides a revolutionary exploration of sleep and how it affects our mental and physical well-being. Sleep enriches your ability to learn, to memorize, to make decisions, everything really. Sleep also positively influences your creativity. So dreaming creates a virtual reality space in which your brain melts past and present knowledge, inspiring creativity. So that's why, like, getting enough sleep is incredibly important in your life. You know, like, don't ever cut on your sleep. You know, I will manage with like 3 hours, 5 hours. No, never do that. Always get your sleep. That's so crucial for your health and well-being and success for the long term. So I have included some posters for you. You can create new ideas on these. But think about this. How can you develop better sleeping habits? How can you sleep a bit more? Can you take some small naps during the day? So exercise. In the next 2 minutes, please think about your sleep habits. I want you to do this alone. In the next, let's do it in 1 minute. Do you get enough sleep? Or do you spend too much time on your cell phone or on Instagram, on Netflix until late hours? So how can you improve your sleep habits, please? Let's do this ourselves today because we don't have much time today. I have a lot of materials to share. In 1 minute, please identify some small actions. How can you improve your quality of life through better sleep habits? Please think about practical action points. Write them down in your notebook. One of the actions could be reading that book, Why We Sleep book. If you read that book, you will understand how crucial sleeping is. Okay, last 30 seconds. Let's finish this. Okay, to escape boredom, explore yourself. This comes from this book called The Body, A Guide for Occupants. Here's the quote. The most remarkable part of all of you is your DNA. You have a meter of DNA packed into every cell, and so many cells that if you formed all the DNA in your body into a single fine strand, it would stretch 10 billion miles to beyond Pluto. So think of it. There is enough of you to leave the solar system. So you are, in the most literal sense, cosmic. So every one of you are cosmic. We are all cosmic. So who is the author of this book? It is a bestseller book, The Body, A Guide for Occupants. Bill Bryson. So this is the book. It is a bestseller. The Body, A Guide for Occupants. It has a lot of insights and groundbreaking research about the body. So you can learn so much about your body and different systems in your body just reading this book. It's a great fun book. I recommend you read it. You'll learn so much. To escape boredom, learn about the future. Let's learn a bit about the future. These are possible trillionaire sectors. This is an imagination workshop. Possible trillionaire sectors. Let's have a look at them. Look, how would we compute 1 trillion? So if 7 billion people in the world each spent $143, then it would yield 1 trillion. And Peter Diamandis says, if you want $1 billion, then you need to help 1 billion people. So you can look at this link of this article, but right now, like, we have some 1 billion companies, but we also have some 2 billion companies. Apple has just surpassed 2 billion. The others are close, getting close as well. So think about the future. For any industry to produce 100 times more value than today's corporations, they need to be rapidly scalable, global, products, services with strong demand, transportable to anywhere, highly profitable, very influential, and disruptive. So if you really want to create trillionaire value, you need to do all of these things: scalable, global, strong demand, transportable. That means, like, through the internet. It should be an internet company. Okay. Highly profitable, very influential, and disruptive. So this is the new era, you know. And all the amazing companies of today, they know these principles. Think about Netflix. Netflix has just surpassed 200 million members, and it is on its way, like, to reach 1 billion people, you know, in the next few decades. So what are possible sectors? Let's have a look. The first one, cryptocurrency. This is a groundbreaking new sector. You know, Bitcoin, you know, how much its value has risen in the last few months. It is incredible. You know. And think about the potential of this. Still, in the world, 2.5 billion adults don't have bank accounts still. They don't use any formal financial services. So the opportunity here is huge. These cryptocurrencies will be extremely influential in the future, and governments cannot prevent them, or not any institutions can control them. You know, banks cannot control them, institutions cannot control them, government cannot control them, and they will give power to individuals. You know, these cryptocurrencies and the blockchain, it is the internet for assets. You know, you can immediately transfer, exchange assets using these new blockchain technologies. So you can also call this blockchain. Number two, asteroid mining. We also talked about this already, right? If we can extract some resources in asteroids, then, like, again, this is hundreds of billions of dollars of value. But we need new technologies to be able to do this. And there is a huge need for these minerals, metals, platinum. And the best way is to go to space to extract these. Instant learning. Learning has become so crucial, and we spend much of our time just learning. So if there could be a way to facilitate instant learning, then this would be transforming all the school systems, all universities, everything as we know it. You know. And some people say that there will be ingested learning in the future, eating a pill and then knowing French, that kind of ingested learning, you know, using nanobio machines. And we know that brain-machine interfaces are coming, Neuralink, so they will also help instant learning quite a lot. Internet of Things, devices talking to other devices. So consider having devices that improve your health, energy, stamina, thinking by like 100% or more. Consider devices that can communicate with plants and animals even. And think about Amazon Alexa. Amazon Alexa will be the smart brain of your smart home, organizing, controlling everything, including your subscriptions as well as your orders and buying. Another trillionaire sector, cure for human aging or longevity. So if every person had the option of paying $10 a day to make aging stop, how many would choose that option? So 1 billion people would choose it, paying $10 a day. So that means 3.65 trillion a year in revenue. So this is one of the biggest trends, longevity. Everybody is talking about it. There are reports written, you know, how can we integrate 100 pluses into the workforce? You know, like this is a new era, like population who are over 80, over 100, they will continue and try to be more productive in the next couple of decades. Google is investing in this as well through Calico. So this is one of the biggest game-changing industries, longevity. And every 10 years, on average, 1 year is added to the human lifespan. There are so many innovations in this domain. Number 6, ultra-high speed transportation. We have already talked about this. This is Hyperloop. Number 7, if you can control the weather somehow, this is again trillionaire sector. Again, why is this so critical? Because of global warming. This is an emergency. We will face hurricanes, tornadoes, tsunamis, all the destructive weather events, and these will form a threat to living systems and ecosystems. So if you can come up with any kind of new technology to, let's say, cause extra rain, etc., or favorable temperatures, good sunshine, etc., this is again like one of the biggest sectors. Instant sleep is another one. Like, how many people would be willing to pay $10 to use an instant sleep device to add 8 hours of productive time? So, like, if 1 billion people pay for it, then this would make again 3.65 trillion a year. So, instant sleep is a huge sector as well. And there are even more, ideas here. Instant disassembling of matter, better ways of working with raw materials, for example, or human cloning, 3D printed bodies. Like, let's say if we could somehow transfer our cells into younger, stronger, better bodies, or personal swarms of swarm bots. So these swarms give you a lot of flexibility, versatility, utility. Robots and robotic services. So killer apps for these robots and robotic services is a huge sector because artificial intelligence is coming. Number 14, again, artificial intelligence is something that will influence all other sectors as well. It is a game changer at almost every level. Every industry will rely on artificial intelligence. That's it. 3D telepresence avatars. So these avatars can attend meetings on your behalf, for example. So your digital avatars. Again, we will see that in the future, in the next decade or so. And energy storage, of course, Elon Musk is huge here as well. batteries and energy storage and new forms of sustainable systems and earth-friendly systems. Okay, so now it is your turn. I want you to brainstorm, create your own ideas, imagine other sectors or inventions or something related to these industries. What could be some of the wicked problems that need solving for humanity? Use your imagination wisely. In the next 2 minutes, please brainstorm possibilities and dream up possibilities and write them down. Try to choose things that are close to your heart. Something that you find exciting, fresh. So what would you love to work on? What are the problems that you will be dealing with? Please make notes and create your own ideas. So Wei has asked a question, are all these exercises learning adventures? Yes, they are. All of these exercises that we are doing, they are all learning adventures. So you can choose any two of them. Okay. Any world-changing inventions or innovations? Think about them. How could you solve these wicked problems? And which complex wicked problems do you wish to work on? You'll improve what? Take notes. Keep writing. Okay, 30 seconds to wrap up your ideas. You can always come back, of course, and read more about this. Okay, before we finish this section, I would recommend the books of Peter Diamandis. If you are interested in these futuristic sectors, inventions, read Peter Diamandis, but also Michio Kaku. I would recommend both of these authors. Here's the next puzzle. In 1803, Thomas Jefferson signed over 15 million to somebody, and then he doubled the size of the United States and purchased all the west of United States. Thomas Jefferson was the president at that time, and he paid $15 million to somebody that we know, we all know. It's like he's a very prominent historical figure. Who is this somebody? Any guesses? This is Napoleon, of course. Okay, so the next question. At that time, when Thomas Jefferson paid 15 million, remember, at that time, 15 million is a lot, something like billion, perhaps, compared to today, or more. So at that time, many people objected to Thomas Jefferson for his decision. Why are you paying such a large amount? This is stupid. This is desolate wasteland. Why are you buying all this land? Why are you paying so much money? Many people objected to his decision. But then something incredible happened in mid-century, after 45 years. In 1848, something totally unexpected happened. And this accelerated settlement to the West, especially to California. So Thomas Jefferson bought California and all Western United States, yeah, at that time. And many people thought that this is stupid. Why are you like buying this? But then something incredible happened. What happened? Any guesses? Of course, gold was discovered in California. That's what happened. So the gold rush happened. Millions settled to the West and to California. All adventurers, all the gold miners, entrepreneurs, creatives, they all went to California. So here's a puzzle. Today, similar to 1848, we are at the brink of a new gold rush. There is this gold rush, new gold rush. You know, it is one of the sectors that we discussed. Which one is it? Of course, I would say artificial intelligence. Yes, there is a gold rush in artificial intelligence. What else? The space economy. It is the new gold rush today. So why is it so huge? From asteroid mining to Mars colonization, from space travel to search for extraterrestrial life, space is the most exciting sector in our lifetime. So to escape boredom, learn more about the space and this new gold rush. Space is where the future riches are. The world's most powerful billionaires, they are all trying to dominate commercial space industry. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Richard Branson. And companies are also planning to mine asteroids, colonize Mars, and develop weapons only to be used in space. And astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson says the first trillionaire will be who exploits asteroids in space. So private companies are rushing in to this space industry. It is a modern day gold rush, as you can see here. Asteroid mining, it is a $1 trillion economy industry, especially platinum-rich asteroids. What are they? You can see the value, colossal value of asteroids. As you can see, Davida, 27 quintillion US dollars, quintillion. Look at the numbers here, quintillion dollars. And you see the others. Why are asteroids the real deal? You can learn more about different asteroids and their values in this map. And I included more maps. Why asteroids are crucial. The metals are depleted in the world. So like this is one of the biggest opportunities for humanity. So let's continue talking a little bit about the wonders of space. This is the International Space Station. Let's do a little tour.
Hello yourself in your reference. Of course, most of these modules you'll see, they have 4 sides, and they're put together. That way we can sort of work on a flat plane, either a wall, a floor, another wall, or the ceiling. But, you know, again, all you have to do is turn yourself and your reference changes. The reason I'm bringing that up is because this is where 4 out of 6 of us sleep. And so people always ask about sleeping in space. Do you lie down? Are you in a bed? Not really, because it doesn't matter. You don't really have the sensation of lying down. You just sit in your sleeping bag. So here's one sleep station right here. I'm going in right now. You can follow me if you want. So I'm inside. It's sort of like a little phone booth, but it's pretty comfy. I've got a sleeping bag, right here that we sleep in, so we don't have sort of like a little bit of a cover. We don't fly all over the place. But you know, you can sleep in any orientation. I have it sleeping, feeling like I'm standing up right now, but like you saw, I'm on the floor. But it doesn't matter if I turn over and I sleep upside down. I can't have it. I don't have any sensation in my head that tells me that I'm upside down, so it really doesn't matter. Toys, I've got some books, I've got some clothes right here. There's one on the ceiling, if you want to call it, over here. There's more to show you. And brushing your teeth and washing your face. Well, how do you do that? Well, here is the bathroom, essentially. You get up in the morning, and we have a little kit, and it has all the essential things that you need, like your toothbrush and toothpaste and brush. See how much better the brush makes my hair look? I'm just joking. It still stands up straight. It doesn't matter where you are. It's always going to stand up straight while you're up in space. A lot of people ask about toothbrush and toothpaste. So luckily enough, toothpaste, you can do it upside right this way. It's sticky, and so it sticks to your toothbrush. No problem. Another cool thing is that water sticks to your toothbrush too. You can see it. I'll have some water come out. Water is pretty neat up in space. It'll stick to your toothbrush, and it will make a big bubble.
Okay, so you can explore more. There is a map here. I want you to look at it. It is about the size of space objects. Actually, let me show it to you very quickly. So let me just show it to you through a demo, a quick demo. What I will do is I will open up this and I will show you the size of space objects. If you are curious about, you know, the wonders of the universe, it is a great way to explore. Here is it. Okay, so let us start. This is an astronaut, Hubble Space Telescope, man-made object, space shuttle, space station, Saturn rocket. This is an asteroid, Bennu, Deimos, another asteroid, bigger one, another asteroid, Ceres dwarf planet, another dwarf planet, Pluto, Europa, moon of Jupiter, moon, our own moon, moon of Jupiter again, Io, Mercury, Titan, moon of Saturn, Mars, Sirius B, this is a white dwarf star, Venus, the Earth, our own Earth, Kepler 22b, it's an Earth-like exoplanet, Neptune, the ice giant, Uranus, we see Saturn, the gas giant here, and Jupiter, and then we see Sun. And then Sirius, Pollux, another red giant star, supermassive black hole called Sagittarius, Arcturus, Aldebaran, Rigel, Pistol Star, you see Betelgeuse. There was a lot of news on Betelgeuse, U.E. Scotty. And then this is the black hole, you know, that humanity was able to photograph. This was a massive achievement, of course, M87 black hole. And we have more black holes, bigger ones. Cat's Eye Nebula, Barnard 68, Ring Nebula, Butterfly Nebula, Crab Nebula, Kepler's supernova, Tycho's supernova, and then it's a dwarf galaxy, Tarantula Nebula, Barnard's galaxy, Fireworks galaxy, Milky Way, our own galaxy, and then we see other objects similar to our galaxy. Andromeda is the galaxy that comes upon us. And then we have the elliptical galaxy, supergiant galaxy, and then our own galaxy neighborhood. And then there's a galaxy supercluster, and then another bigger supercluster, and then a large quasar group, and observable universe. And like we don't know much else. And somewhere something incredible is waiting to be known. We know very little. So why did I share these with you? Because I want you to feel more alive and also like more curious about space and about, you know, about the universe, our neighbors, and in the universe, you know, like who are the closest star systems. Alpha Centauri, right? Alpha Centauri triple star system is the closest to Sun, as you can see. So there might be 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. 2 trillion galaxies. So to escape boredom, read books on science fiction and the future. This is a great book. It is called The Future of Humanity, Terraforming Mars, Interstellar Travel, Immortality, and Our Destiny Beyond the Earth. So he talks about telepathy, telekinesis will be the norm, he says. We will interact with machines by sheer thought. So our mind will be able to turn on the lights, start our Tesla car. Yeah, these will happen. We will see them hopefully in the next decade or so. Activate the internet, dictate letters, play video games just through the power of our minds. Communicate with our friends, call for a car, purchase merchandise, conjure any movie, all just by thinking. So astronauts of the future will also use the power of their minds to pilot spaceships or explore distant planets. So who is the author of this book? Again, he's one of the most popular physicists, futurists in the world. Michio Kaku is the person. I recommend his books very strongly. He's an amazing writer. So what comes after the solar system? This is our solar system, right? To escape boredom, expand your curiosity beyond our solar system. What comes after Pluto? Do you have any idea? Kuiper belt, Oort cloud. So after Pluto, and you know, Voyager 1 and 2 are traveling in this sphere. This is the interstellar space. Oort cloud, you can see how long it is. And as you can see, the nearest star systems and the nearest star to Sun, our Sun, is Alpha Centauri. And these star systems also have their own planets and asteroids, but we know nothing about them, or very little about them. So if you want to explore more, read this book, The Future of Humanity. So the Oort cloud extends as far as 3 light years from our solar system. That is more than halfway to the nearest stars, the Centauri triple star system, which is slightly more than 4 light years from the Earth. So if we assume that the Centauri star system is also surrounded by comets, then this will be a continuous trail, you know, like, so we can establish refueling stations along the way. And this will be a grand interstellar highway. This will be like a cosmic Route 66, he says. So to escape boredom, explore possible future innovations, future inventions. This is another book, amazing book by Michio Kaku. I recommend you read it. It is called Physics of the Future. He discusses how science will shape human destiny by the year 2100. So he discusses driverless cars, holographic TVs, internet glasses, universal translators, telepathy, robot surgeons, cyber avatars, quantum computers, and much more. Jurassic Park style resurrection of extinct life forms, and space elevators, starships. Elon Musk is building starships now, right? So you can learn so much about this. The next puzzle, we are finishing almost, like this is an ambitious science fiction movie. It expanded our imagination to mind-blowing possibilities. What happens in this movie? They travel through a wormhole and open a path to a distant galaxy near a black hole named Gargantua in this movie. They experience time dilation due to the proximity of a black hole. So Gargantua warps time-space, and they slip through the event horizon of a black hole. And they use a tesseract as well in the movie. You can see tesseract here. It's a 4D hypercube. A tesseract is to a cube as a cube is to a square. So it's a mind-bending opera of space and time. Which movie is this? Of course, it is Interstellar, Christopher Nolan's amazing movie. If you haven't watched it, I recommend you watch it.
What are you going to do with it?
Give it something socially responsible to do.
Can't we just let it go?
This thing needs to learn how to adapt, man. It's been telling us to leave for a while now. Your daughter's generation will be the last to survive on Earth. You're the best pilot we ever had. Get out there and save the world. System. To our galaxy. Here we go. We're here. Fast, don't we?
Actually, we want to get there in one piece.
The people on Earth are dead by the time we pull it off.
We got this far, farther than any human in history.
Oh, that's far enough. Make it count.
That's how it felt. No waves.
We're ready to make it.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
You might have to decide between seeing your children again and the future of the human race.
We'll find a way. We always have.
So I recommend you watch it to expand your imagination. So to escape your boredom, go Interstellar. Imagine that you can fly almost at the speed of light. Here's your next imagination. In the next 30 seconds, or so, where do you want to explore in the space and in the universe? Use your imagination widely. In the next 1 minute, please brainstorm right possibilities. Where do you want to go? Let's say you can fly really fast, almost at the speed of light. Even if you go at the speed of light, I mean, like, we are so limited, of course. But in our imaginations, we are unlimited. And that's the goal of this exercise. I want you to imagine beyond any limits. So last year, Elon Musk and his team invented something that will revolutionize space travel. This was exciting because they made history. What was this invention? Any guesses? This came from SpaceX. Reusable rockets, right? So to escape boredom, learn more about Mars. So this is the video of that moment. This was a great moment for humanity. February 2018.
Most space organizations, government or commercial, have set their sights too low. They've really built relatively small rockets. And Falcon Heavy was the first time that this is arguably even in the super heavy class, or somewhere between heavy and super heavy. No stop needed.
Hotels in the area are completely sold out. Parking lots are packed.
It's like the
and rocket system comes back. So it's a great moment for humanity, but and of course his explanation to colonize Mars, this was the highlight again when he explained this plan in Mexico. This was a hell of a show, and people were
His talk in Mexico drew insane crowds. People actually stampeded into the hall where his lecture was in order to get a good seat in the spaceship.
So this was the first time he said he wants to colonize Mars, and explained his detailed plans on how to do that. So you can learn more in these videos. We have run out of time, but you can watch these to learn. But it is important that, you know, it's important to imagine new possibilities for the future of humanity. So this red planet, it is 93 million miles away from us. It takes about 7 to 8 months to get there. It's one Mars year is almost double. One Mars day is very similar. Gravity is 1/3 of the Earth. Temperature is minus 62. And Mars has 2 moons. So if humans can settle on Mars, we will become a multi-planet civilization. And National Geographic has a TV series about this. It is about how humans make Mars home in 2033. It is on Netflix. What's the name of this TV series? Any guesses? I binge watched this show in just 2 days because there were 2 seasons. I finished in 2 days. Nothing magical, no surprises here. It is called Mars. So let's have a quick look. I'll stop here. But there are people who are preparing themselves for Mars, such as this 15-year-old.
I first got interested in the idea of going to Mars when I was 3 years old.
And liftoff. She wants to be the first or one of the first to go to Mars.
She's a regular kid with a dream that she's willing to pursue. Spaceflight is very risky business. You have to take it serious.
So you can watch this. It is in your slides, but there is also a Netflix documentary. It is called The Mars Generation.
It's out there that are possible homes for humanity. Space camp opened the path for me to do things that I really want to do. Kids today have that same drive, that same passion that I had watching the first American launch into space.
We got to the moon, but it's a stepping stone to the red planet.
It would be so amazing to see the Martian surface with my own eyes.
Having a man or woman walk on Mars is just the most badass thought in my mind. It's been over 50 years since we've done something significant like this.
We don't really go to space anymore. People are losing touch with their human spirit.
We have an entire generation who want to go to Mars, but all of that will fall on hollow soil if there isn't some big mission where they can apply this enthusiasm.
Some people think it's fine to stay on Earth forever, and some people don't.
Let's go out there and make discoveries. Let's change the world.
Somebody from my generation will put their footprint in the Martian soil.
I can't think of a better thing to be defined by.
It's our duty to breathe fire into the imagination of these young people, because our true place is among the stars.
So it's a new era, really. Here's the 1 minute puzzle. What could be some leisure, fun activities to be done on Mars? Use your imagination. So imagine that TripAdvisor is asking your ideas. What are top 3 things to try in Mars? What would you come up with? So here are my ideas. Valles Marineris canyon system. It is amazing. Why? Because it is 4,000 kilometers, 2,000 kilometers wide, and it is incredibly deep, much wider than the ones we have on Earth. Of course, Olympus Mons will be one of the biggest attractions. This is the largest volcano in the solar system. 700 kilometers across, 22 kilometers high. And of course, Martian Olympics would be a feast if we can see these one day. Why? Because you can jump 3 times higher and you can throw things 3 times further due to 1/3 gravity. So this means the Martian Games will be extremely enjoyable, and like they will be very different from the Olympics we have here on Earth. So think about the like amazing possibilities there. So imagine you have gone to Mars. Just imagine, how would your typical day look like? What would you explore, learn? Can you write a science fiction story about Mars? So think about that in the next 30 seconds. Can you like imagine that? What it will look like? So as I finish, my last words are curiosity and creativity are the new productivity. So you need to be really curious and creative in this new era. That's why I have chosen these topics, you know, instead of the usual business topics. You can learn them all the time, but what matters is your imagination, your curiosity, your creativity. So I finish with the carpool karaoke.
Thank you so much for helping me get to work. It's our pleasure.
Yeah. Do you mind if we listen to some music?
Let's go!
Are you ready? Here we go.
Yo, do the guy!
Is this your way of asking me to join the band? That didn't sound good.
Okay, I'll stop here. Thank you so much for your attention. And I will see you in the seminars on Monday. Thanks a lot for your patience, for your attention. If you haven't yet registered your attendance, here is the QR code again. Thanks a lot for sticking and staying here. Sorry, it was not the QR code, unfortunately. Let me do it again if you haven't done it. Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend, everyone. And I will see you on Monday. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.